Good morning, guys, from NDISWA supporting group in Perth. I'd first like to thank Katie Moran for taking the time to comment on Roxy Lee's post about finding a suitable dog trainer. I must say I really do love the open and honest communication in this group. However, I do want to remind everyone, please remember to follow the rules as set out by admin, that we need to be kind and courteous. For Katie, specifically for when one of my clients raises their opinion that is different from you, I'm sure as an industry professional, just like myself, you probably do work with people who get very emotional about things that are very close to their hearts. And as professionals, usually we've got to be a bit more calm and collected, put our own feelings aside and help people through that stressful times. I'm assuming because you're a recovery coach as well, and I do the same for dogs. Now, as the owner of Perth Canine Craft, which you have mentioned in your deleted comments, I thought it might be helpful to invite you, as well as anyone who would like to talk to me face-to-face. I actually do a complimentary meeting, sometimes face-to-face, sometimes over the phone, mostly face-to-face, so people can actually get to see me interact with their dogs and meet even sometimes some of my clients' dogs that I take with me and train. Because I really want to be open and transparent about what I do, methods I use, tools and devices I use, because I coach both ends of the leash. And as most people would know, humans and dogs each have their own unique challenges sometimes. And unfortunately, maybe one piece of technology, maybe one piece of therapy won't work for everyone, okay? And I really don't want to limit myself to be helpful to people. Dogs are really close to my heart. Now, Katie, unfortunately, we are opposite ends of the spectrum regarding the different philosophies on how to train a dog to reach these objectives. I myself really aim to help people and their dogs to live a better quality of life. And the problem is that I think we both know that in our industry, we do fight. Because for some reason we can't agree to disagree. I know I can. You're not the first person who's attacked me or talked about my company in this way. I'll say allegedly. Apparently that's the right word. I'm autistic, guys, so please bear with me. Unfortunately, I think that this will only weaken our industry internally, Katie, because we'll be unable to identify and withstand external pressures that actually threaten our goal of trying to improve the quality of life of our humans and dogs, okay? And I'm just going to say here, Katie, that just as your organisation, IMDT, has their own code of ethics, and it says here, and I quote, members agree to work within their professional limits and agree to refer owners with needs beyond those limits suitable to a professional, end quote. I want to say there, of course, there are limits to using only one out of the 4 quadrants of operant conditioning, if you want to use the fancy words. For the normal person, it is using only one of the 4 consequences of trial and error learning, okay? And by alienating people like me, Katie, who are not limited by the same limits as yourself because I use all 4 quadrants, you're also limiting the dog owners. So I would caution you against that. But again, that's your decision, please. To all the other people in this group and owners who might be watching this, same thing. Just be very careful that you don't limit yourself. I've had to work. I work with a rescue, and I've worked with this rescue since 2020, and I've saved quite a few dogs who would have been put down because there was such a limit in the tools and technology and methodologies used. Now, if you are very happy that a dog needs to lose its life rather than go through a little bit of stress, build some resilience and some skills to live a good quality life, please, that's up to you. That's not my way. And then, Katie, the second thing I just want to quote here from your IMDT Code of Ethics: provide and promote science-based proven dog training principles to a high and professional standard, end quote. It's just a word of caution from Simon Sinek. And he says, you have to be careful with what you think you know. Assumptions you see, even based on sound research, can lead us astray. Intuitively, we understand this, We understand that even with mountains of data and good advice and science, if things don't go as expected, it's probably because we missed one small but vital detail. And in this case, usually we go back to all our sources, or we get some new ones and figure out what to do. That's all I've got to say about that. And Katie, just like yourself, I am actually a qualified and accredited dog trainer, not just in Australia, but also in South Africa. And I have been working with PTSD Dogs Australia since 2019 and aimed to be a qualified animal assistance dog trainer by the end of this year. So please be very careful what you do. Now, I'd like to speak to the people in this group specifically. For those of you who don't know about me, I am an NDIS participant myself. I was diagnosed with autism in August 2020, and just like some people in this group who might have been diagnosed a lot later, I'm also dealing with PTSD myself because of the trauma of misunderstandings in workplace environments on 2 different continents, as well as our social and cultural pressures when people didn't quite understand that I'm not a rose, I'm a cactus, and therefore I need a bit of a different type of environment to flourish. Okay. So I am an NDIS participant myself. I understand it. I work quite closely with a few industry professionals to help educate and help people through the NDIS system. And I help people to learn skills to keep themselves safe at home and in the community with their canine companions. Under a business name called Ubuntu Support, because I do support work myself. I'm very grateful for having people's money from the money from the taxpayers that help support me. And in turn, I can actually help support those who are in the same positions as myself. So I want to say thank you guys for listening, and please feel free to personal message me, or you can email me. I'll put my contact details there for you. And I hope you guys have a lovely day. I'm on my way to go and train Ashley and her dog, Happy as Larry. See you guys.